But when you're coming up against Arsenal, who we're actually in a race with forward, it means even more. Do you know what I mean? So I'm always going to be a little anxious, a little apprehensive.
What Zinchenko does when Salah's playing, like, he's not up to speed. I'm a bit. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a bit nervous. I'm more than nervous.
Be manager, and you will not say, you know what, you got to give the manager time because he has to bring in his own players. So when you inherit players that ain't yours, you still have to earn those players' respect, especially the world-class players that he's got. That's one stuff. So everything he says gets scrutinised as players. That's the modern-day football.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Biggest compliment I can pay, Rob, is I haven't missed Jurgen yet.
Hi and welcome along to AFTV, the big game coming up this weekend. We cannot wait. Arsenal versus Liverpool. One of the great games in world football. Who's going to win it? A lot on it. If Liverpool win the game, they go 7 points clear of Arsenal. If Arsenal win the game, they bring it back to within a point. So let's get into it. We're joined, of course, by Akinfenwa, the beast, former football player.
Come on.
Right. Absolute legend of the game. Drifty's in the building from Coppish, the big Liverpool channel, and we've got Stricto. You all know who Stricto is, and of course me representing Arsenal. And guys, it's a huge game this weekend.
Massive.
Liverpool top of the league, only one defeat so far this season. One defeat for Arsenal as well, but we've had a couple of draws in there, hence why you guys are top of the league. Liverpool playing well under the new manager. Who's going to win this game and why?
Boy.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie, I'm nervous of this game. And I'm nervous just because of the way Arsenal are going into this game. That's what it is. I would have actually rather Arsenal have gone in flying on.
Me too,
and off the back of yesterday's performance as well, it just looked like they was... And I see Arteta come out saying we're going to be flying. And I think that's what it is. So I'm nervous in the game, but I do think we come out on top. I do think we will win. I do think, listen, I think Saliba's a big miss for you. I do think Saka will be back for the game. But I do think Liverpool are now starting to motor. You're starting to see what Slot's trying to do. And to get through the Chelsea game, I didn't think it was a great performance from Liverpool, but it was grit. And I think that set us up for coming to the Emirates. So, listen, I think we get over the line. I think we beat you.
Stricto?
You know, it's weird. He said he's scared. I'm shook myself, and it's, you know, sort of like to hear them, because I thought Liverpool going into this with all the confidence. Like you said, we've got Saliba missing. We don't even know if Saka's going to start. Obviously, we've got Odegaard out. We saw the injuries from yesterday. We saw Partey playing right back at the second half yesterday, and if he plays,
Ben White should be back for that game.
All your man them will be
it was
back.
only a precaution.
Yeah.
right?
They took him
That's
off.
what. Okay, cool.
It's a precaution because he was on a yellow card.
Okay, so just going into that, you know, Liverpool are flying. You know, like you said, they're motoring on. The engine is purring nicely. So yeah, it's honestly, I'm sort of shook. You know, but if Saka's back, it might just give me a little bit more confidence. You know, I don't know what's happening with Timber, because I don't know what's happening with Timber. I don't know if he's going to be fit, because all these players are well equipped to deal with the attackers of Liverpool. You know, Timber is physically, he's fast, more of a presence than Zinchenko is. You know, like we saw what Salah does whenever Zinchenko's play. What Zinchenko does when Salah's playing. Like, he's not up to speed. I'm a bit. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a bit nervous. I'm more than nervous. But it's weird. It's almost like it's a good thing for me, because then when we do start on Sunday, I don't have any expectation. So it actually might be a good thing, if you get what I'm saying.
All right. Drifty?
I'm a little apprehensive. We're going to the Emirates.
Your nerves around here, man.
No, do you know what it is? Because common sense will tell you. And you know what? I don't even mean this in a shady way. It's probably how you lot feel when you come to Anfield. We don't have a great record at the Emirates. I think we've only won there like 3 times since you lot have had the Emirates as your stadium. And that ain't really a lot. Do you get what I mean? Loads of draws. We draw with you lot all the time at the Emirates.
So last year.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you can take
And the
it.
year
So,
before.
I mean, FA Cup.
And the year before, yeah.
No,
No, we're talking about the league now. Premier League.
I know. We've also. I know we've all. You know what I mean. 2-0 on your own doorstep. But anyway,
we could do that.
So
we could do this.
Yeah. So what the way, and I'm always going to be a little bit anxious whenever we're coming up against a team where it means something. Do you know what I mean? Every game means something when you're in a title race with Man City. You can't drop no points. But when you're coming up against Arsenal, who we're actually in a race with forward, it means even more. Do you know what I mean? So I'm always going to be a little anxious, a little apprehensive. But I am quietly confident. Obviously, what's going on with you lot in terms of like your injuries, and I'll never wish injuries on anybody, but you do have them, so that's the situation as it is. And we are in good form, so I have to be quietly confident going into the game. We do have a few issues ourselves, I'll be honest with you. Jota's out of this game, Alisson's out of this game. They are two big misses for us. We're not going to like make an excuse, but we have a few players missing as well. Because if Jota was playing, I think I'd be a lot more positive in terms of like one chance and he'll probably get it. With Nunes, we know it might take 2 or 3. Do you know what I mean? So I'm a little bit, although he will run your defence. So I don't know. It's just one of them ones where I'm looking at the way you lot are playing, and I don't even mean it disrespectfully. I'm not impressed, but you're getting the job done, and I just hope you don't get the job done against us.
Yeah, I think how I'm feeling about the game again, nerves are there. You know what I mean? Because, and it has to be because it's, to me, 2 evenly matched teams. When I look at it, I know we did the combined 11, you guys got to go and watch that, and you'll see it is 2 evenly matched teams because the amount of argument that went on about certain positions. But I think it's 2 evenly matched teams. I give us, I give us I think we can win it because we're at home.
Yeah.
And playing at home at the Emirates is going to be difficult for Liverpool. It'll be a different type of game to some of the games that we've had recently at the Emirates, where we've looked okay, but we could have looked better. But I don't know, those teams are putting low blocks and stuff like that. I feel that this game, Liverpool are a more attacking team. So, that will open up more spaces for us. And I was encouraged when Arteta was talking, saying that, listen, he was literally saying it. Don't worry, we'll be flying on Sunday. It'd be a different game.
He does talk a lot, Arteta, though.
It'd be, well, I mean, what's wrong with saying that?
He's
saying,
just saying.
We had a poor game against Bournemouth, and, the game against Shakhtar wasn't that inspiring 3-4-0 that we was expecting. But like you said, we've had a lot of injuries. There are injuries to key players. I think if Saka can be back for this game, that'd be absolutely
massive. Is it a risk
massive
for you lot to play him? Because if he pulls his hamstring again...
that's my thing.
I don't think he'll play if there's an issue that he can pull his
I think he
hamstring.
plays.
Because, following you guys, we got to go away to Newcastle. We got Chelsea coming up. So I don't think it...
Murmurs are quite bad,
I don't think they will risk it. I don't think they will risk it, right? But if he's fit and he plays, and if Timber's fit and he plays... because remember, we have had these injuries. We went away to Man City without Odegaard, you know what I mean? And players like that. So we have coped very well with these injuries, but they are starting to stack up. Even Calafiori is a doubt for the game.
Remember, we did warn you guys. Sorry to cut you. We did warn you guys because I remember last season, it was so much dismissed by Arsenal, Man City fans whenever we spoke about our injuries last year, because obviously was in the race up until the last 7 games, and everyone was like, oh God, injuries, and it was really dismissed, and Liverpool were getting violins and all this stuff, and we had so many injuries. We were playing youth players.
Yeah, but we ain't got no violins out, bro.
No,
so we've been getting on with it. We went to Man City with those injuries.
I have been hearing the Arsenal players talk about injuries the entire build-up to this game.
No, we haven't been moaning. No. We ain't been moaning. Wait, 1 second. We ain't been moaning about injuries, right? Because we went to Man City with these injuries. We went to Tottenham away with these injuries, right? We went to Villa away with these injuries. We ain't been moaning about injuries. We've been getting on with it. It's just us as fans saying that we're coming up against Liverpool. Ideally, we would love to have Odegaard in there. We would love to have Saka in there. These are very, very important players. You know what I mean? You'd be saying the same if you didn't have Salah playing or if Trent was missing or stuff like that. So,
I know, they both missed the trip to the Emirates last season.
There's nothing wrong with us mentioning it. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm just saying, in general, Arsenal fans are properly putting the injury thing in the conversation.
All right.
Remember, Salah and Trent missed the game when we lost to you lot at the Emirates last year.
Yeah. Are Liverpool the favourites for the game?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I wouldn't say Liverpool
you're
are favourites. You're at home. And this is what I'm saying. If this was, of course, I would rather be in Liverpool's positions where we are now, top, only lost 1 game. But it is the Emirates. And our record at the Emirates ain't the great, and you're at home. So that's what levels it out in regards to your injuries. Of course, Saka not being there, Odegaard not being there, Timber, Calafiori, then it starts leveling it out. But the Emirates, the home, that is a massive leveler. Because I would say this, if this was Anfield, I would say, yeah, you know what, I think we're going to take the win. But coming here, and that's why, and listen, all jokes aside.
Even the game last week against Chelsea, it was quite a close run thing, wasn't it? It wasn't like you didn't walk all over them.
But this is the thing, and this is my apprehension in regards to this, is that whole, you just feel like you're going to turn up and win. I think that was when we played United. There's just games where, and it's such a cliche when you say form goes out the window, where it's just on the day. But when you're talking Chelsea has started to motor and get it good. So every team in the Premier League, I mean, you lost to Bournemouth. Every team...
You lost to Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, we're top. That's what I'm saying. So, sorry. So what I'm saying, every team will have their moments, and Chelsea are a good team. But again, just like y'all been getting the job done, we got the job done at home. Do you know what I'm saying? So
with Liverpool, right? Listen, I think most people would say they're the favourites for the game on current form.
Of course.
But you've watched them so far this season. A little bit different to they were under Klopp. Slot's done a great job so far. Are people overrating them though? Because there's still that claim that they haven't played any of the real big. Obviously, they played Chelsea last week and they won that. That was one test that they've really passed. But this season,
so what's overrated?
Their start to the season.
If you look at the Chelsea game, I watched that game, and if there's one thing I would say I'll take into like Arsenal's sort of in our corner is how Chelsea did boss you guys. Like there were moments in that game where they had possession, they were creating chances, they were attacking you. That's at home. That's at Anfield.
Here's the thing though, I said to cut you, like there was something that I think you said earlier, Robbie, as in like we'll open up an attack which will obviously help. Look, I watched that Chelsea game and Slot is actually a G when it comes to this. He let Chelsea have the ball and he said, go on him. They had like 60% possession, I think. At Anfield, we never let people do that. But you know why? Because we knew if we let them have the ball, they wouldn't really know what to do with it. And then our game plan worked. When you watch the game back, not live, we were kind of comfortable. I know they had a few chances, but we were kind of comfortable. I think it was just the nerves of it being live and wanting to win. So we might let you have the ball. And I'm not going to lie, what are you going to do with the ball without Saka and Odegaard if they both ain't playing? So we might just go, you know what, we're at your ground. Yeah, have the ball. Yeah, what will you lot do with the ball if we
weren't bad with it at City. When we had the ball.
No, but that was like only for about maybe 30 minutes. The majority of the game we defended, so it's hard to judge that, you know.
I know what's similar to last season. You lot was coming to Emirates last season with the chance to go 7 points clear again. Last season, is it 7 or 8 points clear? And that mentality is almost like...
Yeah, I think so.
You lot was almost flying. Like, we're just going to turn up.
No.
Look, I was seeing a lot of Liverpool fans actually dismissing Arsenal last season. Like when you lot was coming,
and you was like,
come
1-2
because you won an FA Cup. You thought, we're gonna come do this thing, and then
without Salah and Trent, I don't know how many people were acting like that, but fair enough.
No, they were.
The thing is, in this is it's like anything, right? And we come down to this point, and you mentioned it with Slot. You saw Slot's tactically, which I'm starting to see little changes. The goal that come when Chelsea were man marking our players, and then he moves players slightly into positions, knowing that, you know what, there will be overload and there'll be spaces. Look, but at the end of the day, the game will be the game in regards to where you're saying about overrated. I don't think anybody's overrated. This time last season, it was the same. It was Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man City that was going for it. It's the same at the moment now. So as I think for Liverpool supporters is the change and the transition from a new manager. So we would...
Well, you know, because it must be a big change for you guys, right?
Yep.
To see, like you said, a team come and get 60% possession at Anfield. That never, ever happened under Klopp, unless maybe City rocked up. Right, and even then, I don't think it would happen.
But it was on purpose.
It's a different style of football.
Yeah,
the heavy metal thing's gone.
It's a different style.
How are you guys with this new style?
I'm loving it.
Yeah, listen, look, for me, I'm not getting above my station in regards to it, and I still think when you watch Liverpool, there's moments where they get it, and it's just you can't defend it. And then there's moments where I feel like it's in between. And it's going to take time for a transition. Klopp was there for time and they played one style of football. At the moment now, he is being very pragmatic. There's elements where, but Robinson, I don't know how many overlaps Robinson's done since Slot's come in. So you can see he's come in and there's small changes which he's trying to do in, say, where it's not a basketball game like Klopp. Klopp's football was entertaining. There was never a dull moment. But he's now trying to do small changes. At the moment, he's lost one game and he's top. So we're liking what we're seeing, and long may it continue. So
it might be perhaps a new manager bounce. You know, most teams go through it. I know the Liverpool fans gonna slate me, but like, you know, you got a new man in. You know, he's still trying to identify what's what, how to do it. He obviously doesn't identify with what Klopp was doing. Hence why last season with Klopp, a lot of the things he was doing weren't working out, especially towards the back end of last season. Like, players burn out, you know, because you can't be too gun-ho all the time, every time.
There's similarities, though. You know?
very much similarities.
There's similarities.
Very much.
It ain't night and day or anything. It's about 80% similar.
Right.
He's just, as you said, he's taking the emotion out of it.
Right.
So the intensity, because I know people laughed at me for saying it, but I think the only reason we fell away last year is because of the emotional burnout from him going and everything around it. If Klopp hadn't come out and said that, I think we might have got over the line, because I think the players would have been more relaxed. But everybody was like pent up and let's do it for Klopp and us fan base, and it just got all emotional. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
right.
Biggest compliment I can pay Slot, say Rob, is I haven't missed Jurgen yet. And I thought I was going to miss him like nothing.
Fair, yeah, I get
and that's
that.
the biggest
I get
compliment
that.
I can give Slot.
I get that.
He's
I get
inherited a good team. Let's not also deny that. He's inherited, like you man was saying earlier, Van Dijk and, you know, all these guys. Like, he's not come in where, like, when Arteta came in and there was a shit show. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Arteta had to move certain guys,
that's fair.
this, do that. He's sort of come in, and I think, you know, without disrespect to Slot, I think any manager comes in and sort of think, wow, I've sort of won the new manager lottery here, because I've got Salah over there, I've got Trent over there. I ain't really got to do much. Like you said, probably take out the emotional side of it. Like, don't get too intense. Don't just keep it simple. Let's just keep it ticking, sort of thing. So I'll give him a compliment, because it's not easy, but
Don't underestimate earning the respect of the players.
That's the biggest. And I agree with you. He did. He got a good squad, and he said that. And every manager, and you will not say, you know what, you got to give the manager time, because he has to bring in his own players. So when you inherit players that ain't yours, you still have to earn those players' respect, especially the world-class players that he's got that's won stuff. So everything he says gets scrutinised as players. That's the modern day football. So you can't dismiss the fact that he had to come in off the back of the relationships they all had with Klopp and still able to say, look, this is what you've done. This is what I like, this is what I dislike, and this is what I want to do to move it forward. So that is powerful. And at this juncture now, he's ticked.
But like Drifty said, he hasn't had to change 80. Everything's been 80%, like how what it was like with Klopp. So you're gonna, obviously, if you're coming in and doing things drastically like they're doing at United, you know, they've torn up the whole structure. Players ain't gonna respect it. You might have some players rebel against it, but if you keep the structure and if you keep the house how it is familiar to them, they're more likely to toe the line with you.
It don't matter. Third. They don't have to change that.
What I'd like
much, you know what I'm saying?
One I'd like to find out who's going to be the key player. Drifty, key player for Liverpool in the game.
Gravenberch.
I try and control the midfield.
Yeah. I think if we can get hold of the midfield, then, you know what I mean, most games are won in midfield in terms of controlling the game, innit? And then it will allow our front players to be able to do what they're doing if we can control the midfield. So, I mean, I know you've only asked one, it's the pivot. I think McAllister and Gravenberch are the key. If that pivot can do what they've been doing in games.
For you, key player for
Havertz, I reckon. It's a bit a weird one, because, you know, you think of the players we've got, but I think if we nick a goal first, whenever that is, or we nick ahead, like at any point, his output in holding a ball, sort of bringing others in, just being able to sort of take the sting from, you know, Liverpool are going to come heavy. Do you know what I'm saying? I think Havertz is able to sort of just like control the game up there and just sort of let us rest a little bit, like in that defensive area. You know,
To be fair, I would say midfield, but I would say Salah. I think Salah would be key. I think the way he's evolved his game, both scoring and assisting, I think Salah turns up, I think it's going to be a problem. So for me, key player would be Salah. Yeah,
I was going to say, right, and it's hard for me to say that key player because I don't know who's going to be playing in that role, but it's whoever's up against Salah.
Okay.
Because to me, I feel, if it's Timber, for instance, if we can stop Salah, I think we've got a great chance of winning that game. Because I do think every time we play you, he's that guy that
he does have a lot of goals again.
He has a big
man.
influence on the game.
Every game, to be fair to him.
We've got to stop
Or
him.
most games.
World-class player. We've got to stop him.
If he's not, Rob, if Timber isn't fit, would it be Kivior or Zinchenko?
That I don't know.
God help us. That's what.
I don't know. I think
you've got so many injuries in it. There isn't anybody else. Calafiore might even
Calafiore
be missing
could be missing. I think it could be.
God help us, bro. That's what it would be.
Boy.
No, it's a God help us.
Who would you pick of those?
I think he might go Kivior. If
Who would you pick?
Definitely not Zinchenko.
It'd probably have to be Kivior. But Zinchenko's hardly played as well. He's been injured. He's only just come back. He didn't even come on the other night. You know what I mean? He couldn't even go Lewis Skelly. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't fancy that again.
That's what I'm saying. Please let him be Zinchenko.
That's a key position.
Salah loves Zinchenko.
He does. Salah
I'm
does.
hoping because Salah is so good, right? We've got to have somebody in there. But it's going to be a great game. Looking forward to it. Hey, that was quite friendly, man.
No, that's good. Listen.
That was like compared to the combined 11.
Because
this is the real.
This is real.
This is real.
This is real.
No, this is real.
When you have a conversation on the realness, Liverpool are always real. When you lot just want to scab us.
I feel to make trouble, man. He's too nice, man. I feel to make trouble. He's Trent staying.
Trent staying. Let me text Trent now, man. Trent staying, man. Trent staying.
Do you want an exclusive? All three are staying. There you go.
All three are staying.
All three are staying.
All three are staying. Telling you.
Ready to clip this? Yeah.
Trent's definitely staying.
Yeah, all three.
VVD staying.
All three are staying. Virgil's 100%.
Virgil's on. Virgil's
no,
captain.
concerned about the others, right? But
Yeah,
because I
Virgil's
think
captain.
the older players.
Yeah,
Trent, you feel definitely staying.
100%.
Trent's staying, man.
Trent is going
he's a
Madrid to eat
Liverpool man.
Nando's with Bellingham.
Nah.
Do you know what?
I'm not gonna do that in the summer and that, man. I know the summer plans.
The narrative has been
You get
fun
me?
for you lot, but he's staying.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying?
Just like Zubimendi was coming. Anyway, let me end the stream now, right? We've come to the...
In January, if we get Zubimendi in January, hold on, bro.
I love
It's
this
a
game,
problem
right?
for you, man,
I love
again.
this game. Right, Arsenal versus Liverpool on Sunday, right? Don't forget you can check it out, right? Check it out on AFTV. We've got a big watch along. We're going to be interviewing fans. Kopish, of course, will be covering it. Akinfenwa will be covering it as well, right? And of course, Strict will be covering it as well. And he'll be appearing on AFTV.
Yes.
So make sure you check it out, right? It's a huge, huge game. Thanks everybody for watching. And don't forget to pour those comments in. Listen, I really appreciate you guys coming in, man.
No, it's been a pleasure.
Brilliant.
Pleasure every time, man.
What are you up to, Akinfenwa?
To be fair, we out here. I'm doing a lot of content stuff. Doing the radio. We got the Beast Mode production. So got a documentary, clothing. We out here, man. So
How you clothing? The man turned up. Didn't even bring us any top part.
hey, it's on order. It's on order. Don't do that, man. Don't do that, cuz. It's on order, cuz.
Thank you very much, guys. Right, and we'll see you on the next one.